Hi again. Welcome to part two because we can't shut up. uh,
Oh,
yes, I
yeah.
do not have any salwars over here in the US. What did you do? Did you like get it from home?
Oh yeah. So when I moved to Ireland, I just like maybe it took like one or two. That's it because I didn't know that what my scope is going to be in terms of whether I'll even find time to dance because I was doing my masters, right? So like 2 3 months after I figured out the place and everything, I was like, okay, it's not bad. I'm able to make some time. So then I told my mom, can you just send me some salwars and like one dance costume? So she took like a material and everything, gave it for stitching, and she sent it to me. And I used to go to the gym. Okay, so the gym had a yoga studio which was free when
Oh,
there was no class or anything. So I used to go there and practice. And that yoga studio was right in the middle of the city center. Okay, so
oh,
I had to walk and go because it was very close to my apartment.
right.
When I'd walk and go, and it was like very busy in the evenings, right? Like people would just put tables out and sip on their wine, whatever,
Wow,
enjoy.
to go to Ireland.
And here I was getting ready to go to gym with my salwar and everything. So the first time I wore my salwar and I felt so out of place where like I'm like, oh my god, like I'm so underdressed for this environment. So after I finished my practice, I had my yoga pants on. Okay, so I was wearing yoga pants and then the kurti. The two um bottom like the kurtis that is.
Yeah, yeah, the
Took
long.
it around. I made a knot and I made it into a crop top.
So cool. You styled yourself, man. Nice.
And I was like, yeah. I turned a kurti into a crop top and I wore it with yoga pants. And
I'm
I
so
walked
proud
out
of you.
feeling a
Where
little.
is the DJ? Can we please get some claps? Way to go. I think, yeah, yes. This is what I'm talking about. Like, we
Yeah.
need to, yeah, this is nice. This is
Have
really
you
nice.
done anything similar?
I really liked wearing like kurti and jeans to college. But in London, I mostly like, if I wore something like that, right, I would wear like a crop top and like a patiala pant down.
Oh, okay.
And like I would wear some chunky antique jewelry or something, and it really used to set me apart.
Yeah.
And like I used to like wearing trench coat with jhumkas,
Ooh, that's
and
cool.
yeah, it was nice to experiment there. Like if I walk like that in Chennai, I'll get chappals. But
Same here. Like if I would turn a kurti into a crop top and walk around.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you see, it's like two ways, right? It has its own elegance the way you see, like, you walk around Mylapore in Chennai or like
Yeah.
um, just anywhere else in India. Like, if you can wear a jhumka with anything, it'll look nice.
Yeah.
But, like, when you wear it abroad, there is a shock that people get from the culture, but it's nice. It has some good value to it, and people like turn around and look at you. So like when I went to the Met Gala, I
Mhm.
wore uh, I wore a sari with a blazer. Um,
Oh, yes. We can insert a picture of your look here.
I did a lot of research on the topic. It was actually the topic was superfine tailoring, um,
Mm-hmm.
from the black dandyism, the period. Um, I was not very happy with what came out of the Met Gala. Usually, nobody is happy with what comes out of the Met Gala because everyone has high expectations, and mostly it's like you want to see the person that you love and envision so much in something that you want, but it turns out to be something else, and it usually happens with every Met Gala. There is like this certain disappointment, but this year it was extremely disappointing because I had done sufficient research to actually judge the looks, okay? And I think this was about a period when slavery had ended, and African immigrants and these people, they like, they could dress like the rest of the people, and they could, you know, be royal and like show that they are part of the same society that the other people are too, like whichever origin you are from. And I was expecting to see more colors first of all. I've been to Africa, I've seen the Maasai culture and things like that. And I've seen that their history also has like so much color in it, like in their costume, in the
They're very vibrant.
yeah.
People also, they're like really vibrant. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but most of the Met Gala looks were all black and white. Where did the colors go? Okay, fine. Forget the colors. The reason why Diljit Dosanjh's outfit was liked more than Shah Rukh Khan's was simply because he expressed his culture and like he was being himself, which is what that period was all about. It was about being rebellious and not caring and being yourself. Um, which which Shah Rukh Khan did, but there were like a million other ways to show like King Khan, right? And whatever he would did not do it. But I mean, SRK is SRK, all hearts. But yeah, I was expecting more drama. I was expecting people to be covered in like different like colored bow ties all over or like something like super dramatic and costumey. I mean, people like Lady Gaga used to come and perform on the stairs. There were very few like out of the box things. Some of them were really amazing. I would say that they went in for like very intricate details, maybe because of the super fine tailoring. But overall, as I saw the looks, I could understand why they went for the looks, but I mean, it could have been more creative.
I think when you're talking about superfine tailoring, Isha Ambani's outfit was also something that I liked. I had a lot of work, and also it was very like you could see the Indian artisans doing the work.
She was her outfit was made by really great by a combination of great women, um,
Mm.
Anahita and Anamika Khanna.
Hmm.
So I think both the designer and the stylist did an excellent job with
Yeah.
her thing. I don't know why I was so upset. Like every time I saw a black or a white, I was just like, not again.
Yeah.
Why? Like why is there no color? But I mean, of course, the outfit was gorgeous. Like she did
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, like the whole thing with Cartier jewels and um, everyone was wearing like super exquisite jewelry. So that was nice. It was nice to see the men in jewelry. It was a good change. But yeah. And
I think it was also really funny the memes that came out, especially the interview with Shah Rukh Khan and Sabyasachi.
dude, that was so bad. She called him wasabi, bro. Like, what the hell? Come on, man. I I mean, I really respect that man now. Oh my God, like to be standing.
He was trying to say that, oh, he's King Khan, like he's a big deal in India.
If somebody called me wasabi, I would be like, "Thank you, sushi." Like, what's happening? Why would you call someone if you don't know the name? Don't say it, man. Like, what is wasabi? At least they're gonna learn our names now. It's good that like we're showing up, and I was just happy to see new faces in the Met. It's nice, and we're having like good representation even in the cans, which just happened.
Um, it is getting more inclusive, right? And it's
Yes,
to
it
see
is.
familiar faces now on the red carpet.
I
Yeah.
have like a controversial, not controversial. I have like an important topic, like of
Okay.
discussion, which
Okay.
both me and Adi have discussed in detail about.
Okay.
Um, why do you think it's called black dandyism and not like African dandyism or like why like because we don't refer to like if I see another Indian like say in the supermarket, right? I won't be like, hey, see another brown person. No, I'll be like, I think they're from India too.
Yeah.
That's how I would refer to them. So why are we like I see influencers, I see so many people. In fact, even the topic should not have been named black dandyism. You could have just called it dandyism of that period or of that origin or whatever. You can refer to people as Caucasian or South Asian or say American, African American. There are so many ways of addressing, but why this divide still with color when we're in like 2025. We consciously do. I mean, I'm not saying we should. We already do, and we should be consciously calling people by their origin and not by color or by their race. And yeah, I just felt like this Met Gala theme kind of amplified that somehow, and like it didn't have to be so um, bang like that in the face.
I think a reason why they might have color is because they are not sure of the origin, right? And they wouldn't want to offend a person. Like, say, if somebody is from Pakistan and you name them as an Indian, they would take offense. Or
Like, yeah, there is possibility that there can be confusion in knowing their origin, and that's why. But still, I mean, we should find a better way than
terming them as African American is fine. Like, say, same with Indians, right? Indian American, but they wouldn't want to be referred to as Africans alone
yeah,
because
maybe they're from like
second
Caribbean.
generation, yeah, they would be second generation, third generation people who are living here right now.
Yeah,
They've never visited back home.
yeah, maybe.
So maybe they don't want to offend them from like where they're coming from, so they're putting the color on them.
Somehow that is worse.
That's
Like the solution to the problem is not really solutioning. If you know what I mean.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is debatable, of course, but like, yeah, we're just having this discussion that there's something that doesn't sit right with this whole thing. But back to
It's
fashion.
like naming, like, brown classical dance.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense. Like,
Brown music.
no.
What is brown music?
What is brown music? Yeah, you don't say that. You say Indian classical music, Indian classical dance, or
Yeah.
whatever, uh, Japanese martial arts or Chinese martial arts. Like, that's not. My point is just that it doesn't make sense to be doing that in this day and age. Like, I'm sure there should be like better solutions to this.
Yeah.
And oh my God, this has gone another way. Like, I'm glad that we are discussing these kind of things because even if we're wrong, like, I think we'll understand and learn more from such discussions. Um, and we can be wrong, we're humans.
I mean, we are entitled to have opinions, right?
Yeah, exactly. Um, so, yeah. But back to being,
Little too much confidence to share those opinions, though. Being too bold.
I don't know, a bunch of people are going to watch this. And I
Yeah.
hope you
I
guys
feel like we're going to get million views on this. And we're going to get
I
cancelled.
hope, man, give us million views. Why not? Oh my God, we would gladly take that. Not for the views, but at least that we can discuss such things and like,
Yeah,
it would be nice. Yeah. Um, yeah. Maybe we'll go to a like lighter topic. Speaking about Alta again. When I was in school, I was getting caught for having Alta on my hands, which is so ridiculous because I did a show now. It's not going to go. Like, I'm going to have Alta on my hands.
Yeah.
And they're just like, why Mehendi is not allowed in school? Like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, ma'am, I did dance show. Like, what can we say? But has this happened to you? Like, I've actually gotten punished. I actually had to like stand on the side till the assembly got over because I had Alta and stuff like that. I had like a note on my diary that why is your daughter having this? Please do not send your daughter with such like marks on the hand. And my parents had to write back and say, no, no, she did a show and like this has happened. Yes.
No, I haven't had that experience. I've been punished though for not cutting my nails. Not for having alta. But I think it was fun. I miss those days. Like, you could just brag about, oh, how you went for a dance show.
Did you have like socks, like when you remove it and then there's Alta on the socks?
Yes, yes.
Wow, it's so funny how similar our
I
childhood has
know,
been.
right? Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
It's such a real different feeling.
Nice revisiting all of these memories, right? And the struggle to apply that middle dot without staining anywhere else.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh
And
my god.
most most of the times I would have like other patches like
Yeah,
everywhere when I
same,
applied it.
same.
But it is like you've grown to like it so much. Like I hate the days when I don't have like right now I don't have Alta on my hands, but I miss it so much. Like we would always have Alta like next show, next show, next show, and like um, it's like collecting some small awards, right? Like
I know, and your nails would be stained from that. Like even
from
though the
Alta.
Anta washes away, it doesn't get washed away from your nails.
Yeah, and then the point when we could start wearing like red nail polish with the
Yeah,
alta so that it looks better on stage. And, so much we've given detail and attention to our attire also. Like,
yeah.
and my very first show I remember with my like dance class, um, I didn't pin my pallu properly. So we were doing steps like we were bending and all, and it was like falling and all, and oh my god, like I was pulled to the side, like what are you doing? Pin this and like there was somebody who like just held me like that and like they pinned it and like go on stage now. Literally like that has happened. But yeah, I mean now we know like one pin here, one pin here, one pin here, like everything we
Set.
know
And
exactly.
also now you'll never have enough pins. You'll never have enough safety pins. Never have enough hair clips.
U
It's
pin.
never enough. Yeah, you
Yes,
pin.
U pins always. And then something or the other, the black rope for the hair. Oh my God, it is never sufficient. There'll be like one thing, and then that will always go missing. Now have like one nose ring lying somewhere, and I'm like, shit, where did this come out from?
And just having someone to hold your, like when you're doing your hair, yeah, to hold the ring. I had really long hair when I was small, so at least until I think I'd say until college is when I kept growing it. So it was until my knees. My
What?
hair.
Can we
Yeah.
have a picture of that somewhere, please, 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 please?
Yes. I used to not use false hair at all for Bharatanatyam. I used to use my own hair.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Okay, I hope my mom doesn't watch this episode. She'll start like cursing me now.
but I really want to have a big, big shout out to my mom because she
Clap, clap, clap. Come on, we should definitely have our moms on like an episode
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
For their like kind of hard work they have done to make us dancers and us
I still
move
remember
our
every morning before going to school, I had to sit down so she could braid my hair. And that too, it was two braids with the
yeah
ribbon at
right.
the bottom, and then it would be folded, like doubly
Oh,
folded.
you have to do the fold the
Because
back
it
thing.
was too long, right, to let it just
Oh my
fold.
god.
Oh my god, it was insane. And it used to be so hard when I would play roles like Krishna because Krishna would have a shorter hair,
Ah
right?
yes,
So
no.
we had to like put again black rope at the bottom, tie a knot, and then just fold the hair and then.
Oh.
So just yeah. Oh my
But
god.
I'm so jealous you had hair till your knees. Why did you cut it? Oh my god.
Well, adulting.
Dude, hair. I also I like long hair a lot. Like my sister loves short hair, but I'm like the opposite. I want my hair to be long,
Yeah.
uh, so it can like cover my double chin at times or like just
You
engulf my general appearance.
you don't have a
Um,
double chin. Oh wait, by the way, fun fact, I have never met Sanjana in person.
shit, yeah.
But here we are sharing our
We
childhood
actually
secrets.
haven't met. I definitely, most definitely have double or triple chins. I'm glad that you can't see it, and we can let it stay that way.
Okay.
I am trying to work out and keep it going that way, but
Yeah.
difficult, very difficult.
Consistency, quite hard. I feel like the most hardest thing that's holding me back from achieving anything is being consistent. Do you take inspiration from nature when you like dance or like, you know, design? When you're out there traveling or something, do you have it at the back of your mind that, oh, this is what I should do with dance, or like this is what I should do with like my fashion?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of it comes from nature. I was like recently reading this thing on niche, like it's a page on Instagram, and it like, quotes people and what they said. And I don't remember who quoted this one. Every time we mingle with humans and we're in the city, we're doing our systematic things, our everyday life and meetings, blah blah blah, and it kind of makes us impure and it makes us um, not nice. So we want to go into nature, and it's always nature that kind of gives us cleansing away from humans, right? Like you want to go alone and sit with
Yeah.
a tree or look at a river or an ocean and feel better, and it
Yeah.
it automatically feels like it's cleansing you,
Mm.
and that's like so true, right? I think that's important, like for any kind of storyteller or artist or performer or designer. You need that peace, that kind of serenity when you're looking at something. Even in chaos, like there are pieces made in art that are based on chaos and negative emotions too. But there is some certain serenity in that also, some natural thing in that also. But I do take a lot of inspiration from nature. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
God is the best architect and designer, I guess. So,
What I'm really liking with the evolution of the art form is how dancers are trying to mimic and make it more natural and not very dance like, right? Like earlier we used to say, okay, we use pataka for water. But now we are showing like waves and then there's small little like ripple effects of when you drop a pebble or things like that, right? So I really like the fact that we're trying to make it as close to nature as possible. Actually, Adi and Nihal have also spoken along the same lines in their podcast about tech, right? Or like the tech is also inspired from nature. But as dancers, it's nice to see how you try to mimic, say, like how an eagle is flying. It's not just
yes,
it's
absolutely,
that
yes,
it's that steady
correct. The
gliding.
gliding, like the
Same with
balance,
the
and
tree, right? Like if a leaf is falling down, it just goes like
nice.
this.
Yeah.
So that's how nature inspires like every artist, I would say, right? Because you observe. That is what artist is.
Yeah, and it's not just the physical attributes, right? Like
Yeah,
even like the emotional attributes
yeah,
of like that comes to you like in a rainy weather you do feel either romantic or like broken, like
yeah,
you feel that. And then when you're in summer you think about like hard work and sweat, and each thing gives you some kind of emotion as well. And
yeah,
combine it all together and make so many things, and there's absolutely no like boundary to it. Like you it is so fluid, right? Like now like I see a lot of people showing modern issues in
yeah,
Bharatnatyam, like all the time being on the phone, and there are
yeah,
groups of dancers who are showing very new kinds of stories in Bharatnatyam and not the devotional conventional normal stories,
yeah,
which is it's like water. It's like, fitting with the new kind of things that are happening, and that
yeah,
is so interesting. I feel like there is a lot more influence of other dances in Bharatnatyam than it was back then. Maybe it was there even back then, but now I feel all the more so because of, I guess, globalization. Like my guru does a lot of kalari paite with Bharatnatyam.
mm-hmm.
Like combining martial arts with Bharatnatyam is again a very niche
Yeah.
area that she has opened up, and
Mm.
that's extremely powerful also. And the whole the dynamic of dance has changed now, or Bharatnatyam has changed now. There was like Pandanallur style and Kalakshetra style and whatever, but now there's a lot more variety in the Bharatnatyam
Yeah,
than
very.
before.
Yeah. My guru, right, Vidyashri Radhakrishna, she, because I come from a Christian background, we were very interested in doing something along those lines with that concept from of Christianity, right? So, she came up with the hasta for a cross, two
Hmm.
CCs like this.
Like that, like this.
Yeah, cross.
Nice.
So this, yeah, this is how. So if you're wearing like a with
Oh, the thing.
yeah,
Oh, nice. Very nice.
cool. Yeah.
I'm glad that our teachers were not so like um caste
Current yeah.
specific or yeah,
Yeah.
religion specific. But
Yeah.
like we had done a ballet on like four different religions. Like there was Christianity and
Mm-hmm.
it was like Esther and
Mm-hmm.
Rabia from Alvadeya and like there were like different characters like that and Akka Mahadevi and it was mostly it was about women from different religious
Yeah.
sects, right? Like and they were how they were all treated and how like their stories. I wish there was more inclusivity like that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Bharatanatyam,
Yeah.
and I hope it. I think it is opening up slowly.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is nice. Like your guru actually incorporated that and did
Yeah,
that.
the guru's influence is playing a very crucial role. We should have an episode where we elaborate more on like the influence of gurus on students, right? Following from the Guru Shishya Parampara back then and like how it is now.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely like talk about it, and we should definitely invite our gurus
Gurus. Yeah,
on, and like we can have them. I have so many questions for my guru, which I would want to ask her. So
so my guru has a knowledge of both music and dance. So
excellent.
she knows which raga will suit which bhava.
Yes,
So she composes the music for dance as well.
that's very important actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
So
also why if you read up more about like ragas, there are evening ragas, morning ragas, and things like that. I have so much to talk about music,
yeah.
but I'll definitely not do any justice if I start talking about that now. Yes, we will continue a lot more. Yeah, very wholesome topic this time. Very wholesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, let us know what you all think in the comments. We're not going to do part 3, but we'll release a new episode
Yes.
with a new topic.
Yeah.
And
We could go on forever, but we shall zip it for now. Anyway, Ruth, I hope I see you in person soon and we can do a podcast from like the sea. All right. Bye bye, toodles. Please subscribe, like, share. Yes.